I thought that 4-gauge wire was thick. Look at this. This is 2-aught wire. 2 gauges larger than 0. Look at this stuff. Wow. Look at how thick that is. I think this will handle up to 200 amps. But anyway, this is what I'm going to use to connect my 2 batteries together. This is going to be the interconnect. Woo! Look at that. 2-aught. Thick. And I'll go into why I'm going in using 2-aught instead of 0 later in the video. Yep, all I'm waiting on is for the FedEx driver to get here. I got everything all unloaded, ready to transfer over. I gotta hook this wire up, patch the 2 batteries together. And here's a closer look at the battery. Kind of naked. There's all the crap I got coming off of it, all the fuses and stuff. Gotta be safe. I don't really like these alligator clips here, or whatever they call them. Probably down the road I'm going to end up replacing this 4-gauge with 0 or double-aught and just make my own connectors going to the inverter. So yeah, just waiting for FedEx to get here so I can get this thing hooked up. Oh, it'll be nice. Here's my new caddy. I just got done building. Batteries are going to set sideways in here, and that will allow me to have easy access to the terminals on the back side. The front battery is going to be the secondary battery, and the back battery is going to be the main battery. And if you're not familiar with hooking up multiple batteries, you want to make sure that all of everything you hook up is going to be on one battery. So like my voltage detection for the charge controller, the positive for the charge, the positive for the inverter, all that stuff has to be on one battery post rather than spreading it all out over the course of the batteries. So basically you've got a main battery and a slave battery. And as the main battery is discharging, the slave battery discharges with it equally. Or at least that's the hope. Alright, so here they are, both connected together in parallel. And I don't have the battery terminals hooked up yet to the wire. You can see I just jury-rigged something here, mainly to test the voltage, to make sure the system is going to work and the batteries are going to charge. Now this battery here, being a new battery, it's only at 1275, okay? And this battery here is at full float, which is just a tad over 13 volts. So I've got the 2 batteries connected together so that they equalize. So essentially what's happening here is the voltage or energy from the old battery that's fully charged is being transferred into the new battery that is not fully charged until they equalize. And this voltage right here is the voltage of the entire system. This will slowly fall down, and when I can measure that the batteries are actually equalized, where they're the same voltage, then I can begin to actually hook up my solar, because what happens is the whole system as a whole is 12.97 volts. Unfortunately, you can see it's falling. Unfortunately, the one battery, the new battery, is actually only probably at this point maybe around 12.8 volts. So as it's charging, it sees, the charge controller sees the system as a whole. It sees the entire voltage of the entire setup, which is mainly the old battery. So what's happening is, as soon as this starts charging and it hits 14 volts, this battery, the old battery may be at 14 volts, but the new battery may only be at 13.8. Now over time, of course, that's going to equalize itself out. However, it's more of a strain because this battery is actually not getting the full charge, the adequate charge it's supposed to get. So basically, I'm just equalizing the batteries out. I'm letting them stay connected, and you can see it's still falling. And it's going to fall. It's going to continue to fall until the voltage averages out to where both batteries are identical as far as their voltages go. Then I'll hook up my battery terminals. Then I'll hook up the solar and make sure everything is working. So far so good. The batteries are working together nicely, and yeah, I just have to wait for these things to equalize out, and I'll be ready to finish up. Alright guys, I am done. This cabinet here that I made, I just had a bunch of leftover 1x12. I didn't do a very good job. I wasn't planning on it because, quite honestly, I'm going to be buying yet another battery probably next month. So I didn't see much of a point in actually spending a lot of time, on this cabinet here. I'm actually going to probably get a wall cabinet for a lot of the stuff, or I haven't figured that out yet, but I will. But anyway, so both batteries are underneath here. So I got two identical batteries here, and I used these here. These are 2-aught battery terminals, and they're copper, and I used these, and I ended up soldering the inside after they were connected, so they're soldered as well. So I built my own battery interconnects, and now I'm 100% online here, and this is done. This is all set. So yeah, so I just increased my capacity. Now I realize there's a lot of other YouTubers out there, a lot of other content creators who have a much larger system. There's one that comes to mind who was on one of those prepper shows who has like 30 batteries or something, and 20 spare batteries. I mean, it's just nuts. And so it'll take me a while to get anywhere where I can completely supplement myself just on battery, okay? So, but for me, this is exciting. This is really exciting because I had this running yesterday, and I was pretty consistently staying up in voltage above 13 volts. And after the sun went down, I still had my aquarium running all the way until about 11:30, till it hit about 12.8 volts, which is where I cut it off. So yeah, I mean, it's a step in the right direction, okay? So this isn't ready for me to go completely off the grid. I'm not even close, but it's a step in the right direction. So I'm going to slowly build the battery bank until it's to the point where I don't have enough charging. I've got more capacity than charging, and then I'll add some solar panels. So yeah, anyway, yeah, it's kind of a mess here. I just got done with this. I've got one concern, and that's related to this whole setup. I'm using 4-gauge wire on the inside of here for everything. Everything's 4-gauge. Problem is when I touch some of these wires, they actually feel warm. In fact, this whole thing here feels a little bit warm. And I don't know if that's normal or not, but the thing is that this thing is rated all the way up to 300 amps constant, and yet I've only got about 35 amps going through, so I'm only using about 10%. So I'm not exactly sure why some of this stuff is getting warm. It only seems to get warm when I'm at a full 35 amps or so. So that is a little bit concerning to me. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get rid of this box altogether, and I'm going to replace it with a wall cabinet. And then I'm going to run 2-gauge wire in between all of this stuff. And I'm going to do it in a way that I don't have to have these bends. So everything will be in a nice, straight, horizontal line going across. So I don't have to have any of these bends like that, okay? Plus, it's going to be thicker wire. And this mercury switch can actually handle up to 2-gauge wire. So I'll just wire everything in 2 and then call it a day. So yeah, anyway, so cool. I'm getting there slowly. I know it's not as impressive as some of your systems that you got out there, but hey, you know what? I'm happy. And as long as I continue to improve and add on, and when the time comes where I'm going to need to call on this to be my main duty for, like I said, hours, days, weeks, then I will have it. And it will be here to give me hot water. It will be here to give me cooking, energy, and all sorts of things. So yeah, cool. This is exciting for me, but I'm a big nerd, so I'm all into this kind of stuff, and I like being able to go green. I think it's pretty cool. So alright guys, well, if you have any questions, let me know. But this wasn't exactly a tutorial video. Just letting you know, hey, I got another battery, and hopefully in a month or two here I'll have another battery, and then another month I'll have another battery. And oh yeah, before I forget, I realized that the battery life is different between the two batteries that I have here, and as I wait, the battery life goes down. I understand that. I'm not waiting years between, so yeah, anyways, cool. So alright, we'll catch you guys later.